Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself. They are interchangeable. And my goodness, I must confess, I'm a little bit slightly, oh God, get my head straight. Look, I've still got the band on from the comedy night. Do you know what? It was really good. It was really funny. It was really funny. We were in this place which is called White City House, and they put on this event where they had some stand-up comedians and stuff like that. Went there with my friend Sarah, and it was great. They had free drinks and everything like that, and the comedy was really good. I forgot to take pictures though. I only took pictures of like, I think a bit of the stage or something like that, so it's not that exciting. Sorry, folks. Well, welcome to another installment of Thursday Fry Up, isn't it? My goodness. Now, as you know, I'm doing this show a little bit later than I normally would to give myself time to kind of get back, because normally I would do HoGaLe at this time, but it's a pleasure to have you guys here. I can see that you're starting to pile in already. So before I begin the show, I've got your questions here, and I've got some on the back as well. I didn't want to waste paper, so I had to, I had to use the other side. So you've got some really cool questions in. Just before we begin, please don't forget, of course, to like and subscribe and press the bell notification so you can tell when I've got videos up and stuff like that. It really helps the algorithm and all of that stuff. And if any of you would like a consultation with me, many of you will know already, but just in case you don't, I've got a 25% off offer at the moment. Special offer, my Christmas offer. I brought it forward a bit earlier. Cost of living, all of that kind of stuff. 25% off all my consultations. It will be in the video description if you want the detail, but just to show you here, do a quick bit here. So if you do Crimbo 25, all lowercase like that, put that in at the checkout, 25% off everything. A lot of you have gone for it already, and I can imagine there'll be another sweep as Christmas gets closer as well. Right, now we're going to begin, but I'm very excited to share something with you guys. Now, as you know, I completed my first astrology book, didn't I? Did my first astrology book and stuff like that. Master edit. Then thank you to all the people that were also my beta readers. I really appreciate that. You guys gave me feedback. And, you know, having a glossary, diagrams and stuff like that. And guess what? Now, Saturn has been retrograde for a while, and now he's direct. And I always find when Saturn's direct, I can get a lot more work done. And look, here is one of the illustrations. Now, it's mainly in pencil. Here you can see it around in pen. I don't know if you can see that. Look, this is where I describe the whole time sequence, it's called the yugas, of the development of human consciousness over a time period of 24,000 years. Yes, you heard me right. 24,000 years. We have 12,000 years of ascension, and then basically 12,000 years of descension or descending. And this part here, Kali Yuga, this is the worst bit, yeah, 500 AD. This is when humanity was at its absolute worst. And over here we can see Julius Caesar, Confucius, pyramids being built. Round here, we are now here, yeah, in the beginning of what is called Dwapara Yuga. So we are just coming out of the darkness, folks, but only just. A lot of people are still in the consciousness of before, and I'm sure that you will agree. Oh, look here, so I've just seen stories by the numbers. Let's say some hellos before we dive in. Let's see if my computer's playing. Hello, stories by the numbers. I'm so excited about the illustration. Congrats. Thank you. So this is not finished yet because I did it all in pencil last night. And what happens is once I get the artwork going, I kind of start falling in love with the process. And then that's all that I want to do. So I've got clients tomorrow. So maybe, I don't know, tomorrow morning, if I can get some sleep, I'll carry on. Anyway, but it's all there. And when this is done, I'll put a scan of it once it's completed, once it looks more like this. on the community tab, so then you can have a look to see the development of human consciousness according to ancient Vedic astrology. And let me tell you, it is very accurate, folks. Right. So let's see who else is in, and then we're going to start with the questions. We're going to dive in. So, oh my goodness, a donation. Thank you, Gil. How do I say that? Gilrian. Forgive me if I've butchered that, but I didn't know I could ask a question. Yes, you can ask questions, but best to leave them in the community tab, and then I can see where they are. So when I announce the show, what I'm going to do, normally the day before, that's where people leave their questions. Anyway, yes, so some people are saying, yes, my book. Hello, Connie B. Charlie Smith is here in the house. Teresa, oh, she's saying, I love HoGaLe's readings. Thank you, Teresa. Mwah! Big kiss for you. If you've never tried Vedic astrology before, now's a good time. People, it's very different, folks. Very accurate. Yeah, very accurate. Who else do we have? We got Patricia Fanzino. Thank you so much for your support. Charlie Smith is in the house as well, and I'll read out more of you as I go along. Now, let's dive in. Oh, normally I start with a funny quote, don't I? Let's start with a funny quote. Forgive me. Pardon un momento. Shakespeare, need a bit of him. Where is my, oh, good heavens, Hoagie, what have you done with it? Forgive me, peeps, I'm looking for the book of funny quotes. Guess what? I can't find it. What have I done with it? Oh, this is outrageous. You know, my book of funny quotes. You would have thought I had it ready, but you see, look, I've got all my paperwork, all my illustrations. One last look. Boo. I can't find it. It's not leaping out to my eye at the moment. Did I put it somewhere else? Oh, here it is. It's behind me. Why did I put it there? Sometimes tidying the desk is not the best thing. Anyway, what's this? Funniest quotations to brighten every day. Just going to close my eyes and I'm just going to read the first quote. Let's see what's there. This one says, we always hold hands. If I let go, she shops. And that's from Henny Youngman. And this one says here, this must be on marriage or something like that. It says here, I've had bad luck with both my wives. The first one left me and the second one didn't. Oh, bless Patrick Murray. And then this one here says, an archaeologist is the best husband any woman can have. The older she gets, the more interested he is in her. Oh, meow. And that's from Agatha Christie. Oh, how interesting, because her husband was actually an archaeologist, much younger guy, actually, and she was a bit worried about him leaving her and whatever, but it was true love. Anyway, shall we begin, folks? Okay, first questions come in. Let's have a look here. What order am I going to do this in? Let's see. Let's have a look. Now, this is interesting. Okay, this is coming from Dorothy. Yeah, this is coming from Dorothy M. And Dorothy M asks, the QAnon Sharman is now out of prison and is going to run for Congress in Arizona. Are you talking about the guy with the big fur? And was it the horns or something? The one that looked like a druid. Is that the one that you're talking about? It must be the one. It must be the one. I can't believe it. Let me read that again. From Dorothy M. The QAnon Sharman is now out of prison and is going to run for Congress. Can you see what the impact will be? Arizona, of all places, seems very strategic to me, and it says it's ... there, so I might have missed that printout, but let's just read. Oh my God, are you joking? Guys, have you heard about this as well? Let me know in the comments, because you're all flying in. No, it's outrageous. I know who she means, the shaman guy. Yeah, the guy with his chest out and all of that stuff. What was it? Wasn't he wearing buffalo horns? Oh my God. Only in America. Only in America. I mean, why go back to the place that was the source of your shame and disgrace? Why? And now he wants to run for... Oh, how can he run? He's an insurrectionist. You have to swear to the Constitution. How can he run? Anyone that is, isn't it? Anyone that has partaken or given aid or comfort to insurrectionists cannot run for any positions in government. Is that correct, or am I misremembering that, folks? Let me know. Anyway, let's just see the shaman. Jesus, what's going on with the shaman? All right, let's pull down this and see what's going on. All right, Spirit. Remember, I picked with my eyes closed. So let's see what Spirit has to say about the shaman. I wonder if he'll be successful. Let's have a look. See what the cards say. See what's going on. Look at that. Coming back for more. Thirsty SOB. Oh, doing it for the fame and the... Oh, gosh. Oh. Well, okay, here we go. This is pretty clear. Look at this. All right. So the shaman guy, I don't know what he's called. Didn't he also ask for organic food in prison? And he said it was against his human rights that he didn't get organic food. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. Anyway, is he going to try and run? Yes, he is. Well, I think he's announced it, but whether or not he succeeds or not, of course, is a different thing. But here we are. We've got the sword of truth here. He feels like he's got something to offer. Yeah, he's got to stand up there. I am the voice of truth, etc. Blah, blah, blah. All of this kind of stuff. You would have thought that he would have learned his lesson after being thrown under the bus, tossed there by Duck L'Orange, you know, Trump, you know, because he's one of the minions. Trump doesn't care. Why should he? Anyway. But if we see here, I think he feels like he has something to say, something to announce, something to proclaim to America. Maybe his time in prison has sobered him up. But let me know in the comments, folks, if he will actually be able to hold any kind of high office because he partook in an insurrection. I would think he's automatically excluded, but I'm not an expert. You guys will know. But he feels like he's got something to say, something to announce, something to proclaim. We look at the obstacle position, but really it's not an obstacle here. It's really quite obvious. Look at the next card. It's the Knight of Swords. This was, look, this was him. He's not learned his lesson. This was what? The storm on the Capitol, as we can see. The Knight of Swords is a very fast card. It can be quite an aggressive card as well. When, in the positive sense, this can be someone rushing forward for truth and righteousness and trying to fight the good fight. We could look at it that way. Or this can literally be the insurrectionist, the person who's prepared to use violence to try and get what they want. It can be a very aggressive card, and it's turning up in the obstacle position. So he might feel like his days in prison has given him some truth that he could share and maybe help the American people. But really, the obstacle could be, well, maybe, dude, because you took part in what? The insurrection. So we can see here, spirits listening in. Now, what was it all for? Now, as we see here, here is the star, which many tarot readers associate with America. And I think that is correct in the political readings. But this is more in the benign sense. As you guys know, I often refer to this as the shadow. Yeah, this can be the Trump card, yeah, which can be what? The narcissist. This is not the official interpretation, but as we've seen, this card is so consistent when we talk about Donald Trump, isn't it? Or anyone seeking fame. Even though this card deals with rejuvenation and spirituality and the universe having your back, when we do these political readings, we can take a different interpretation. And I often interpret these cards as the spotlight, someone being under the spotlight, receiving the attention. We know that this is Duck L'Orange because it tends to get three cards. It tends to be either the Emperor, the Star, or the devil. Yeah, that's pretty much what he gets. Now we can see, who did he fight this insurrection for? Duck L'Orange. Yeah. But this can also describe, why is he going forward with this source of truth? Maybe it's because he wants some attention. He wants some fame. He knows he's got notoriety, which pretty much is interchangeable these days. Let's not forget Kim Kardashian. Many a career has started with a little bit of controversy, has it not? Yeah. I mean, she started with a sex tape, but, you know, there you are. I mean, billionaire now, you know, can't argue too much. Anyway, but so I think he wants, in a way, he's trying to maybe see it in his own mind's eye as a catharsis, but I suspect he also wants the attention. Yeah. If we look here now, why do I suspect he wants the attention? Because look what comes up next. We've got the moon. Yeah. So his mind is not clear. Things are not, nothing is clear by moonlight. So we can see there are suspect motives here. And don't forget the lobster crawling out. You know, the lobster of cray crawling out of the water. Then you got the dog and you got the wolf, both howling at the moon. He's been in prison for a long time. He's probably written a bit of poetry, maybe read one or two books, and now he thinks he's the Messiah. Yeah. But if we look here, he may struggle with funding. Yeah. Surprise, surprise. When you're kind of locked up for an insurrection, maybe people aren't necessarily going to want to give you money, but you never know. You never know. There's a lot of people out there that will back a lot of stuff that we may not necessarily agree with, but they are passionate about. But I suspect here he has to juggle the budgets. It might be a struggle for him to get funding because, of course, you know, of his past. He's now a convicted felon, and he was there for the whole world to see, doing his insurrection part, you know. But a lot of people will vote for a torso and stuff like that. Let's have a little look, see who else is in the house. Who else is here? Hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. So we have got Rebecca Reed. We've got Jasper Tyrell. And people saying that the artwork was beautiful. Thank you. Let's just see here. Oh, I've got some other stuff. You know, while I'm scrolling down, this is something that I forgot I actually did. One minute. Un momento. So here, I'll show you this artwork here of two intertwining snakes, which is like part of an ancient time traveling device that I invented in my mind. But I did the color version as well. You know, I'm into all this stuff, esoteric, mysticism, the yugas, all the time, all of this stuff. Anyway, I just thought I'd share those little bits with you. Let's move on to the next question. So what was that? Where was that? Here we are. So done that one. All right. So I've got one in that's come in from Dreamer. Yeah, coming from Dreamer. Now, what they've asked, now this is a British one. I know maybe you guys may not be so into the British stuff, but obviously I have a British audience as well, and they like to find out what's going on in our country. So the question here is, will Sunak and the awful Tory government go soon? I feel so helpless and sad with them in power. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, they're dreadful. I mean, they're not as cray-cray as the GOP, but some of them aren't far off. Yeah, and we've had 13 years of them running the country, and basically the country's not doing so great, and they're trying to blame everyone else. It wasn't me. And it's like, yes, it was you. You've been in power for 13 years and you've taken the country in a direction. But let's see what's going on. And we're due to perhaps have an election next year. The latest they can have it, I think, is the 25th of January. There or thereabouts. 2025 is the latest. So let's see what's going on with the dishwater Tories. Sorry if you're a Tory voter and you happen to be watching this, but you can't be pleased. Mind you, they've dragged back David Cameron, haven't they? Former PM is now Foreign Secretary. Honestly, he's you know, the Tories have given out all these new oil digging contracts, you know. But it seems when it comes to recycling, they prefer people that were in politics. I think David Cameron shows up Rishi Sunak anyway. So, oh, look at this. Same position. Oh, look. Wow. Surprise, surprise. The usual. Okay. This is interesting. This is interesting. All right, the Tories, look, the sword of truth moment has arrived. Everyone knows basically they're rubbish. And it's real desperate times. It's really desperate times, you know, for them to kind of get their act together and stuff like that. People aren't happy and they, you know, they're doing their best. Not doing their best. They're doing their best to try and stay in power. So the sword of truth is here. The moment of truth for them has arrived and they realize, oh, things ticking. Look who's in the obstacle position. The card of government has turned up in the obstacle. So what this suggests is that, you know, they're probably going to struggle. Yeah, the next general election. They're probably trying to figure out the best time to do it. But a lot of people are very fed up and they're just being like, you know, enough. Did the whole Brexit thing. It's not really worked. We're not in a strong position. Inflation is still high. You know, there's not much to enjoy. Yeah, not much to kind of shout about. If we look here, this is them what with their infighting and all of their squabbling and stuff like that. Suella Braverman was sacked, by the way. I wasn't sure she would be, but he did sack her. And my God, the letter she gave afterwards, her resignation letter was, well, sacking response letter was scathing. She absolutely let rip on him. She's like, you're a failure. You're a disappointment. You don't know how to leave. You've got fantasy ideas and politics. Probably one of the truest things that's ever been said about a politician. Anyway, look, not looking good, is it? Yeah, disappointment, loss, and all that kind of stuff. But look, there's still 2 cups standing there. I think this is all the by-elections defeats that they've had recently, but there's still 2 cups, which says they still got skin in the game. The outcome card for them is the 4 of Wands. And my goodness, bless you. Dreamer must be thinking, no, does this mean they're going to win? Well, look, it is a very positive card. So what this suggests is after these losses, they may be trying to turn it around in the polls. I think that's why they've got David Cameron in, and obviously they're doing all the stuff with immigration, etc. So let me just pull a clarify on that to see if that is blissful joy. It's a double. If it's a double positive, then Labour are probably going to have to watch out. But if it's a negative card, if it's like the Tower, or Tower's not always negative, but you know, one of those difficult cards. Let's have a look, see. Get this clarification on this 4 of Wands to see if it's happily ever after for the Tories. Not great for the country, of course. Bloody rubbish. All right, let's have a look. Ah, reversed. Oh, look at that. First time I've had a reversal in this deck. All right. 8 of Wands reversed. When the card is the right way up, this means things are moving forward at speed, etc. All this stuff, you know, messages, everything is moving. The energy is going. Entrepreneurship. This would indicate a strong economy as well, very associated with business. But it's turned out reverse, which means what? Stagnation. Things aren't moving forward. Business isn't doing well. Next year as well, or towards the end of this year, we're having a lot of people whose mortgages are also going to increase as well. It's happened for a lot of people already, but there will be more. And I think basically if the economy doesn't grow and it still stagnates as it is, it's probably not going to be good for them. So I would say so far it's still likely that they're not going to win, certainly not outright, but not all the cups are down yet. You know, honestly, they're kind of like reptiles in the sense of, how can I mean? I don't want to be too kind of whatever, but it's like one of those horror movies. You think the bad guy's dead and they come back. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let's look at, now someone asked me about, now this is a HoGaLe question. Let me just write that down, HoGaLe. And this is coming from Sally Ann. So now we're going back to the States again, and she says, hi, I love your show. Says, DeJoy, the Postmaster General, is still in place. Will they be able to remove him before the next election? Good question. I always said that he would stick around. You guys, well, you know, I mean, this would have been ages ago now that I made that prediction. A lot of people thought he would go, but whenever we read on him, do you remember the corruption cards and the people keeping him in? This would have been a good few months ago now, probably back in the spring of HoGaLe when we were asked about this. But anyway, it's the energy around DeJoy. Will he be gone before the next election? And I'll pull these cards and I'll see who else is in the house. All right. Hope you're enjoying the shows, folks. Lovely that you are here with me. And thank you so much. Really appreciate it. All right. DeJoy. What an ironic name, hey? DeJoy. Should be DeJuice bag. Anyway. What's going on with DeJoy? Will he still be around in 2024? Oh. Ah. Look at this. The Ace of Swords comes out again. That's the third time in a row. Wow. You saw me shuffling the cards, didn't you? Like, anyway, okay, so DeJoy, what's the situation around him? Look, there's delusions, but also as well, this can be a card of having to make multiple choices. Yeah, making multiple choices or feeling overwhelmed by certain choices. But essentially, in terms of his state in mind, he's a bit delusional. Yeah. We can see there's also different options in these cups. Some of them are fairies, baubles, ghosts, you know, what have you. So in terms of the mentality of DeJoy, either he's confused or the people around him are confused and maybe in denial a little bit, because really this guy should have been gone from, like, you know, ages. If we look here, though, the next card he gets is the Hermit. He gets the Hermit card, and it's turning up in the obstacle position. But really, when we think, what is the Hermit all about? The Hermit is normally about research, going deep into things, introspection, spirituality. I doubt he's the most spiritual kind of person, but it's turned up in the obstacle position. And this can mean paranoia as well. This can mean paranoia, everyone's out to get me, or I'm not popular, let me withdraw in. As you notice, we've not really heard much from him at all. So when you put these two together, what this is to me is that the guy is a bit discombobulated, yeah? But he's keeping his head down. He's keeping himself out of the headlines. And I think this is a case of that there are people that maybe secretly kind of support him, but they're certainly not trying to throw him out, whoever they've got, you know, whoever's around him. But look, important choices need to be made. He gets the Lovers card. So this is about making important choices, key decisions. It can deal with collaboration and it can deal with business and stuff like that. And I think this is actually to do with the post office itself. Needless to say, if he is allowed to stay in, and God forbid that Dr. Ron should win the next general election. Like I said, it would take a miracle, a great act of evil for him to win. But this is also could be about making choices as well for the post office and stuff like that. So, you know, interesting stuff. However, look at this. There's a Tower moment that arrives, yeah? Something may come out or strike him down, something left field. So there's an element here of the unexpected. And as you can see here, look, these are the two people falling out, basically crashing, I think, to their deaths. And you can see the big lightning strike and stuff like that. So there might be something unexpected that happens, something that comes out with DeJoy. We'll have to see, because, of course, it depends what happens to Trump as well. Once Trump is tackled and dealt with, then it's more likely that they'll be able to tackle the others, or maybe someone could give a piece of evidence that could be, in order to defend themselves, that could be very damning. And then we have what? The Sword of Truth as well here. So I think there could be, based on decisions that he's made in the past, there could be a sudden event that brings out some truth about him that he may not have wanted people to see. And this is probably why he's being in retreat or keeping himself to himself, but basically delusional. Yeah, just kind of yeah, just not right in the head. And how could you be when you've got a personality and a character like that? Not good. This is coming from Being Light. I don't know if this was a HoGaLe or I think it may have been a HoGaLe, or it was a previous Thursday Friday, which I didn't read on. I didn't have time to. So this is what they say. So Being Light says this: I feel that energy is starting to shift on all levels toward a more hopeful future. Do the planets agree, or am I just another cockeyed optimist? Thank you for all that you do. Well, I'll pull some cards on that, and then we'll talk a little bit about, you know, the yugas and stuff. Let's see who else is here as well. Let's see. Oh, someone says, I'll do it, Hogarth. I can't remember what I said. Can you remember what I said? Forgive me. Let's see here. Thank you too as well to Abigail Wake. Thank you so much for your donation. Much appreciated. Let's see what else you're saying in the chat. Someone's saying, love those quotes. Yeah, I know they are funny, aren't they? They are funny. Let's see, Zircon. Oh, Zircon is saying that they are in Arizona. What do you reckon this guy's chances are then? You know, Mr. Bare Chest, you know, the shaman. I mean, for me, it's almost beyond description. I cannot believe that someone like him would be trying. Yeah. Someone's saying here, only in America. It's like, wow. Christine Cassidy saying news to me. And Christy Tobin, thanks for confirming, saying, yes, it's true. God. And then what's Patricia saying? Yes, he has filed to run for Congress. Honestly, it's just the dog and pony show, isn't it? It's the dog and pony show. Let's see who else is in town. I'm going to scroll down. If a person is an outright weenie and can't handle prison food, then do not try to overthrow the US government. Indeed. Well, you know, maybe he's toughened up since he was in jail. Right. So in terms of, let's read on the energies. Yeah. In terms of Being Light says, I feel the energy is starting to shift on all levels toward a more hopeful future. Do the planets agree, or am I just another cockeyed optimist? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a combination. I'm going to pull some cards, see what the cards say, and give you guys the overall picture of where the planets are going. And I'm going to talk about the yugas, yeah, like I just showed you, these epochs of time that we're going through. Make sure that's all the right way up. All right, so let's just pull on that. The general overview. Let's look at 2024. That would make sense, isn't it? We're at the back end of the year now. Can you believe it, guys? We're in the middle of November. All right. It's the energy of 2024. And then I'll give you the helicopter view. All right. Just do this. 2024. What do you have to say to our spirit? All right, let's have a look, see. Oh, is that a reversal? They've got the cards. Oh, wow, I'm starting to get reversals now in this deck. Well. All right, here we go. Here, I've got the 10 of Pentacles, yeah, but it's turned the wrong way up. When it's the right way up, this means what? It's institutions, establishments of all kinds, big money, all of that stuff. This is often what? The card that comes up for the GOP, but it's in the obstacle position. What this suggests to me is that there's going to be, this can also be the card of dirty laundry. Yeah, dirty laundry, where the secrets and scandals of the family come out. Yeah, and it's all there for everyone to see. Yeah. What this says to me is I think there's going to be a lot more that's going to come out next year. And of course, especially in regards to the GOP. Now, in a funny way, look, one doesn't have to be a genius to work this out because, of course, Trump is, you know, going to be even more on trial. But even more stuff, I think, is going to come out, especially in regards to the GOP. But not just the GOP, institutions in general. So there's going to be things to do with institutions, of all kinds, big established figures, but there could also be big moves being made. Remember that new currency will be coming out next year at some point, assuming that, you know, Putin doesn't kick the bucket and Xi Jinping, you know, is not overthrown or something like that. We understand that there's that new BRICS money that's coming out. And in the summer of next year as well, Jupiter and Uranus will move into sidereal Taurus. So that's going to be about money and the economy as well. I think Jupiter moves in on the 1st of May, 2024, and Uranus moves in on the 1st of June, 2024. Jupiter represents the economy, amongst many other things. Uranus represents technology, sudden shocks and surprises. And Taurus is what? Food, money, and assets, values. So there's going to be a big shift in the global economy next year. And this is when we really can see those currencies that I've been talking about coming to the main. But it's happening already. China is already trading in its yuan. Yeah, it's got its kind of electronic version of the yuan. Is already there trading. And in fact, Argentina paid off some of its debt to the IMF using that. And Russia has actually been paying, China has been paying for Russian oil and gas in electronic yuan as well. So remember I mentioned that? It's already happening. Anyway, look at the obstacle position. So here, what we have here, this is what the thief, yeah? The thief in the camp stealing things. We know how much these robbing you-know-whats are going around doing their stuff, but this has turned out in the obstacle position. So in a way, it's almost like it's reversed. So is this the reversal of certain agendas, shall we say, at play in the world by big institutions? Are they maybe being scuppered and found out? That's more of how I see it, particularly as well when we look at the next card. I've got a king and a queen, the queen and king of swords. So we know, in fact, let's read the three of these together. Here, the queen is what? Logic, legalities, astuteness, sharpness of mind, but can also deal with what? Legal stuff. In the middle, we have the Six of Swords, yeah, wanting to move to smoother waters. And then the outcome card here is the King of Swords. It's all about the legalities, guys. 2024 is all about those trials. But there's going to be lots of legal stuff happening all around the world. We're going to see a lot of court challenges and a lot of people standing up for righteousness and truth. Did you notice how many swords were there? And the swords deal with the mind, the intellect, and stuff like that. But this is the real humdinger. So there's going to be a lot of legal stuff in order for humanity to move to smoother waters. In general, what is happening? With that illustration that I showed you, let's go back to it. And like I said, it'll be properly filled in. So what am I showing you here? This is the cycle, the 24,000 year cycle of human consciousness. Kali Yuga, which you can see down here, might be a bit blurry. Kali Yuga is the rubbish bit, yeah, that we've come through. We've had 400 years of this horrible stuff. In 1900, we start to enter into Dwapara Yuga, which is the era of energy. We're just over here. Can you see? We're just over here. If you look opposite, you will see how I've also put the spring equinox where it is now, because you know we're talking about the age of Aquarius. So the age of Aquarius is still a ways off yet. We're over here in Pisces. Yeah, and that's where the spring equinox is now because of precession. Then Aquarius will come in. But Aquarius is going to come in the next 200 to 432 years. So we've still got a little way to go, folks. But we can get the flavors, yeah? What I find interesting is next year we're going to have a big stellium happening in sidereal Pisces. Let me show this to you. What I'm going to do is I'll do my present button. I wasn't expecting to do a little presentation, but let's go for it. Yeah, I want to show you the energies. So let's do share screen. Give me a moment, folks, while my computer does its thing. Honestly, it acts like it has to break, you know, security codes for the Pentagon, and it really doesn't. Let's just see here. Come on. Oh, for heaven's sake. What's going on here? There we go. There we are. So let's do entire screen. Let's do that. Share. And then, come on. Gosh. And let's get this up. Let's get this up here. Now, what I'm going to show you, folks, I wasn't planning to do a share screen, but I'm going to show you something that has caught my eye for 2024. I want you to remember that. So look here, we're going to go to animated transits. Let's give you some prediction here. Animated transits. And down here, I'm going to put the date. Oh, what is it? It is, gee whiz. I think it's March. It might be the 30th of March. 2024, which is what I want you guys to look at. Let's do okay. Come on. Oh, don't mess about. Jesus. Let's see. Ah, God, this isn't it. Let me just do. Is it monthly? Is it like, I can't remember. Let's do weekly. I think it's April. There is a time. Here we go. What am I doing here? Oh, no. Here we go. 1 minute. On momenta, folks. It's when Saturn. What the hell? No, I'm getting this wrong. There is a time. Am I on the right? Oh, shucks. I know what's happened. I know what's happened. Saturn, my. Oh. Anyway, look, do you see there's this big thing over here? Huge stellium. That's in April. And there was a time where it was literally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was Mercury was there and Saturn was there. I can't remember which, but basically there was this huge pile up here in sidereal Pisces. I mean, you can see it already. Let me click forward and see if when I can get Saturn to come in there. It's really strange. Oh no, maybe it was 2025. Sorry, it was 2025, folks. I remember now. Forgive me. Let me just set date. Oh God, flapping around. It was 2025. That was it. Quite soon after the inauguration. That's why it was important. That's why I remembered it. Let's do 03/2025. Oops. Forgive me. Bear with me, folks. Ah, now do you see this? Here we are on the 30th of March, 2025. Look at this, guys. Saturn, Rahu, Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Neptune and the Sun and Chiron all together in Pisces. Something epic is obviously going to happen in 2025. So let's minimize that down. Let's do the stop share. Took me a while, guys. Sorry for the faff. Let's see who else is. Chat Wadsworth is asking, is he getting any money for running? Well, I think he might struggle with funding overall. We're talking about the shaman here, because remember, he got the Two of Pentacles, so he might get some money, but I'm not sure how much money he will get. Let's scroll down a bit further. There's a lot of you here in the chat. That's just resetting. Let's get on to the next question. Let's get on with the show. So 2025, guys, can you see? 2024, obviously we have the election, but there's something massive in the spring of 2025, 30th of April. I think it's going to be stuff to do with the oceans, the seas. Pisces can deal a lot with that. Something significant. Not 100% sure what it is yet. It's too far away for now, but you could see for yourself. Anyway, right, let's see here. Oh, this is interesting. So this has come in from Roniy, or R-O-N-I-Y. Slightly longer question. Let's see what you think. Good to know you're, she said, good to know you're out with a friend for some laughs. Goodness, we could all use a good chuckle. My question, there was a fire under an overpass of a major interstate freeway in LA, California. It was determined to be arson. Was it caused by someone in the homeless encampment under the overpass? Or was it someone testing to see how this would hamper the infrastructure and how long it would take to rebuild? There was another fire on an underpass under another major interstate freeway on the East Coast not too long ago, and it was determined to be arson as well. Are they connected, or was it simply a matter of time? Great question. Do you guys know about this? Let me know in the comments of these fires. Look at that. Look what jumped out. The sun, flame, fire. Wow. Okay. Let's have a look, see if someone is doing some stuff deliberately. And what did you guys think of Duck Larange's Trump's fascist speech? Oh my God. We shouldn't be surprised, but it's just disgraceful, isn't it? Calling his opponents vermin and saying he wants to open up camps or something. Camps for who? I heard some saying refugees, or does he mean like camps for absolutely everyone? Who knows? All right. And there's over 400, well, there's 455 of you with me right now. So thank you guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Right, these burnings of these bridges. What's this all about? I mean, just the fact that so many people have to live under these bridges now is just extraordinary. It's the energy. I'm just thinking about those planets, actually. Even in 2024, that we saw there's a big stellium in Pisces. Right, what's going on? Oh, sorry. Supposed to move this down, wasn't I? Let's have a look. Clandestine. Oh my God. Oh, jeez. All right, here we go. All right, so the question about these burnings under the bridges, yeah? We look here straight away, something clandestine is going on. Yeah, when we're talking about ordinary people, this card, the High Priestess, means spirituality, intuition, developing one's intuitive skills, sacred knowledge, secret knowledge. But here, this can talk about something clandestine going on. This is an agenda, yeah, that's being set forth by someone. Here, if we look here, we've got the Seven of Wands. So they're trying to fight some kind of argument, some kind of, you know, they've got an axe to grind in some kind of way. There's been a lot of satisfaction at these conflicts. So maybe satisfaction at the sabotage, whatever it is that they're doing, they feel happy with their work. But this is looking, look, if we look here, we've got the Nine of Pentacles here. So this could also be talking about what? The infrastructure, money. Maybe someone was paid to do this. Maybe someone was paid off to do this. And then when we look, we see the outcome card here. We have got, this is what? The Wheel of Fortune. So there's a lot going on here. I think, you know, with these things, partly it could be essentially it's clandestine. It's clandestine. Is it a form of sabotage? I don't know. I think it remains to be seen. But I mean, is it a form of sabotage? Of course it's a form of sabotage. But what I'm saying is it's not obvious. It's clandestine. It looks like to me someone got paid to do it. Yeah? Because this is the smug merchant. And then the next card is, look, the Nine of Pentacles, which is a sign of what? Wealth and affluence and getting everything you want. But then there is this, if we look, the outcome card is the Wheel of Fortune. So this is actually feeding into a wider cycle of, you know, events, particularly as time progresses, particularly as that infrastructure projects start to kind of develop more. We'll have to see what happens. If the sabotage keeps happening, then we know that, you know, maybe peeps on the GOP or something like that are paying people to kind of mess up, you know, Biden's program. I mean, we'll have to see. Let's see who else is here. So someone's saying, I'm feeling better too. I think the energy is shifting. I do think it's shifting. I mean, it's still dangerous. We still have that douchebaggery, of course, coming out of Duck Larange's mouth, you know, but, you know, that's his job. We all know what he is. Anyone who's, look, we all know what he is. We all know what he is, and it's people's individual choice whether or not they vote for him or not. I mean, if you want to vote for fascism, wow, okay. If we're there, wow, that really is something. But still, I feel that accountability, you know, we've seen that accountability starting to come. We're really starting to see Duck Larange sweat. Yeah, that's why I call him Crispy Duck Larange. But until he actually, I still think he's going to flee and make a run for it. He doesn't have the temperament to deal with prison. So, you know, we'll see. What's the next one? Oh, let's do a quick read on Trump. I wasn't planning to. Let's do a quick read on Trump. What's the energy around him? And is he going to flee if he gets put in prison or sentenced to jail? I mean, we know he's going to lose money in that New York case. Let's do a quick read on Duck Larange. Let's put here, read on Trump. What's the energy? What's the energy of Duck Larange? What's going on around him right now? Is he feeling the sweat? Is he planning something? Well, we know what he's planning. But if we get the Six of Swords, then he might try and go for smoother waters. Let's have a look. Duck Larange. What's going on with Duck Larange? Who will be, as I predicted, the most litigated man in history. What's going on with him? Let's see. Juggling the money. Oh, it's always about cash, isn't it? It's always about cash with this guy. Yeah. All right. Here. Emotions overflowing. You know what's weird? He's actually feeling quite good right now. I think it's because he made his fascist speech and it's caused a stir. I can only read the cards, folks, as we can see, but it shows the emotion, you know, the emotions around him are very strong. But this is normally a yes and ace card. So weirdly enough, I think after his rally speech, I think he's feeling like he's got a lot of stuff off his chest and he's been able to kind of either quote or plagiarize his favorite parts of Mein Kampf. Yeah. So this is it. Some people say he doesn't read. He does read. Secret documents, Mein Kampf, and, you know, the sweet love letters of dictators. So there we are. So he's, weirdly enough, even though he's in a lot of trouble, because he's so kind of delusional in a way, he's actually feeling quite optimistic. But if we look here, look at the obstacle position. So this is the card of what? Entrepreneurship and stuff like that. For me, this is Ivanka. Yeah. There she is there, you know, sitting there, entrepreneurial woman, etc., that kind of stuff. I think he feels a little bit upset about things, but, you know, she didn't throw daddy completely under the bus. So, you know, he can't complain too much. And this is also as well, this has got a lot to do with, I think, female voters as well. It's turned up in the obstacle position, so I don't think they'll be getting his vote, especially as he's gloating about Roe versus Wade. Anyway, it's all about the grift, folks. Look, it's all about the juggling. That's all he's thinking about. How do I keep the money going? How do I keep the money going? Because he's doing his fundraising and stuff, and maybe this is why he's coming out with even more outrageous stuff than usual. Yeah, so he can fundraise. You can see, look, the choppy waters in the background. He's like, oh. Here you can see he's pulling every trick out of the book. Look at him, leaving no stone left unturned. He's like, you know what? I'm going to go full fascist now, full fat fascist. He's like, no more skimmed milk version. Yeah, no more Splendor version. I'm going full cocaine and sugar and the whole kind of shebang for his base, because at the end of the day, he knows he's getting desperate. He knows he's going to lose a lot of money. He's already been found guilty, but he's still, this is Duck Larange. He's going to keep going. Yeah, gosh, honestly, he should be selling Duracell batteries. He's got energy, I'll give him that. But look at the outcome. It's all about the cash. All about the cash. Now, does he get to keep some of his money, or is this fool's gold? Yeah, we will have to see. But really, he is doing his best to raise as much funds as possible. I mean, really, if we just look at the last three cards, it's all about, this is him. Sorry, get in the right order. Him in the magician role, and also as well, remember the shadow of this card is manipulation. And he's trying to, yeah, or this card was, well, Two of Pentacles was before, wasn't it? So there he is, trying to fundraise, using every trick he's got in the book to try and get the money. So really, that's what it's about. Let me pull a clarifier card on that to see if he gets to keep some of his money, or it's just going to cost him a lot of money. Where's my thingy bob? Oh dear, I'm not organized with my cards today. Sorry, folks. Where's that deck that I want? Oh, for heaven's sake. All right, let me use my, let's pull a clarifier. Let me use my Bianca Nero deck. Let's see what comes up. All right, Duck Larange, clarifying card. Does this Ace of Pentacles mean that he's going to have a lot of money left over, or does it mean he's going to have to cough up a lot of money? He's going to have to cough up something because he's already guilty, isn't he? But let's just see what the clarifier is. Shall I pull three clarifiers? Ah, of course. All right, here we go. The clarifier on the Ace of Pentacles. Decisions to make, yeah? Tough decisions, not sure what to do. He also gets the Page of Pentacles. So this is saying to me, he'll still have money, but it's going to be much reduced, yeah? And he won't have those well, not as many of those assets, hopefully. And then here we got the Ten of Wands burden. It's going to be hard work for him. Basically, like I said before, once his money goes, that's going to really hit at the heart of Duck Larange, and that's going to affect him a lot. We've got a couple of minutes left, and let's see here. So we read on that. Let's end on Netanyahu. There's a good one here as well. Let's see. Okay, let's do Netanyahu, because that's obviously very news relevant. So this is coming from Melody Lemonade. Hi, HoGaLe. Do you see any strong united global movement that will somehow sway Netanyahu to completely withdraw? Yeah, tricky one. Tricky one. I mean, the whole conflict is just utterly dreadful. It's just dreadful. I mean, we obviously need a ceasefire, but, you know, there's a lot of umming and ahhing about that. Gaza just looks like an ashtray. Israel, of course, needs to be able to defend themselves, but the trouble is Netanyahu is a psychopath. Sorry, but he is. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. And that's not bashing anyone. There are many Jewish people that do not like Netanyahu. He's just obsessed with saving his own career. And anyway, let's see. But that's enough of my opinion. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Netanyahu. Willie, what's the question again? Let me just do you see any strong united global movement that will somehow sway Netanyahu to completely withdraw? Let's have a look. Let's have a look, see. Oh, look at that. Look. Knight of Swords just rushing, speculating. Look at this. Look at this. My cards have repeated again. Okay. Knight of Swords. Everything's all rushing in. Like there's the war obviously the war going on between Gaza and, Israel, which is dreadful. But we also have Ukraine and all the other bloody what wars going on in the world right now. So we can see here, so the world is in a lot of war, but maybe there's going to be some kind of sense of intervening. If we look here in the obstacle position, we've got the Two of Wands, which is about making plans, but look, you can see it's holding a globe in his hand. So this literally is dealing with the world, waiting for the ships to come in, planning, but this could also show delays as well, because it's almost like there's no plan, as it were. Yeah, there's no formative plan to try and kind of get the world back together. However, there is a will to move to smoother waters. Isn't everyone just absolutely exhausted with all the endless drama going on in the world? So I think people want to move away from this, leaders as well. They want things to be calmer, smoother, less chaotic. Things will move forward quickly, though, after a certain point. So maybe this is kind of going into maybe early 2024, let's say spring 2024, because we're almost in Christmas now and stuff like that. There'll all be the holidays and what have you. So hopefully there can be time for things to cool down and negotiations, but things will speed up again, possibly in the new year. But I'm thinking like February, March, things start moving forward. And then we have the Four of Wands as the outcome, which is a very positive card. It obviously deals with peace, concord, but this is also in the sense of this is also dealing as well with safety, security, real estate, stuff like that, celebrations, passing a milestone. So maybe next year there can be something where something can kind of be sorted out. Either way, I think Netanyahu his days are numbered as leader, but I feel good about that last card there. So maybe things will improve, but I'm thinking now it's going to be at some point next year. Let's say late winter, early spring. There's hopefully there'll be some kind of agreement and something like that. I will have to leave it there, folks. That is the hour gone already. Can you believe it? I think on the HoGaLe, though, I'll read out. I don't have time to pull on it, but this is coming from Mitz. And they say, will we ever see the time when the wealthy and the well-connected are subject to the same laws as common folk? Too often we see the privileged few game the system and avoid justice. So let's just put that down there as a HoGaLe. I'll put that in because I want to ask on that. I think it's a very relevant question. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Thank you as well for the donations. Much appreciated. I hope you've enjoyed it. Someone's saying here, June Jackson saying the Yugas agree with the Mayan calendar that says we're now moving toward more light. This is true. We're having the ascension of consciousness for all of humanity has begun. We've got some bumpy rides because the Kali Yuga people, of course, are still trying to hold on. That's all your oligarchy and all of your shady stuff. But overall, we're going in the right direction. But, a few more bumps and hills just yet, but we will get there. And let's just see here. And then someone's saying, Zircon is saying, Pluto is dredging it up. Yes, that is part of it. But overall, we're going in the right direction. So, folks, I will leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Don't forget as well to like and subscribe, join, etc., all that stuff. And my Crimbo, Crimbo 25. to get 25% off all of my consultations if you fancy a bit of Vedic astrology or archetypes and tarot as well. I love doing tarot readings for people. So I will leave it there. Much love. And I'll see you all soon. Oh, and someone's just saying here, Trump's gag order temporarily lifted. He's hurting to go to jail. Oh my goodness. Anyway, see you all soon, folks. And I'll see you on Saturday on HoGaLe. Big love. All right. Bye-bye for now.